Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millison. Okay, we have learned about if statements. So if the statement is true, you can do something. If it's false, then the system just ignores it and goes on to the next line of code. We've seen if-else statements. So if the statement's true, do something. If it's false, do something else. Okay. What we're going to look at today is if else statements. So this would be, we need something more besides two options. Okay, is it hot or cold outside or something like that? Is it day or night? We need more than two options. We need hot, cold, perfect day. We need morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So we need to be able to evaluate more than two yes or no, true, false type of options, okay? But still being based on the Boolean of whether each statement is true or not. Okay, I've created a file, a class file, if else statements, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a temperature variable, and we'll make it 82 degrees, nice and perfect weather. Okay, so if this temperature is greater than 90, we want to say it's hot outside. Let me not put a comma there. Okay. If the temperature is less than 50, we want to say it's cold outside. If it's anything else, we want to say it's perfect weather. Okay. So that's kind of what we're thinking. I'm going to create a string called outside, which is going to house whether it's hot, cold, or perfect weather. Okay. Right now, I'm not going to set it to anything because we need to evaluate the temperature to determine which condition it falls into. Okay. So we'll start with, and I'm just going to I'm trying to think, you got to think about this because you don't want to set up your else if statements where it could satisfy more than one. Okay. So I think if I do it like this, if I look for the hot and I look for the cold, and if it's not hot and it's not cold, it's got to be perfect. Okay. So let's say if temp is greater than 90, okay, so if the temperature is greater than 90, in the past lessons, we've printed out something, it is hot outside. But this time I want to change the value of the variable. Okay, so I just want to make outside equal the word hot. Okay, I'm just changing the value of the variable. Okay, so I told you there's a lot of stuff we can do inside here, and I want to do something a little different. Okay, well, I'm not going to say if it's greater than 9, if it's less than 90, I still have some other options here. So I'm going to do an else if. Okay, so now I'm going to say if the temperature is less than 50, let's change the outside variable to cold. Okay, so now the system will look at this temperature. It's not greater than 90, so it won't give me hot. And it's not less than 50, so it won't give me cold. Okay, well, if it doesn't match one of these, I have to do a final else statement. Okay, so it'll carry out these instructions if it doesn't match either one of these. Okay, so this is kind of like the final one. Okay, so I'm going to change outside to perfect weather. Okay, all right, so now every temperature I'm in here has to fall into one of these. Okay, if it's greater than 90, I'm going to get hot. If it's less than 50, I'm going to get cold. But if it doesn't match either one of these, I'm going to get perfect weather. Okay, and that is pretty perfect weather between 50 and 89. That's nice weather. 50 is a little chilly, but still nice. Okay, so let's use the temp variable here and the outside variable and create our output. Okay, because right now, if I ran this, we can run it. I've got nothing. It's telling me that outside's not being used. Yeah, I know. Okay, nothing runs because I don't have any kind of output. Okay, so let's go ahead and create. Let me move this down a little bit. Let's create. I'm outside of the if statement. Let's create a printout here. And I'm going to say the temperature is temp degrees, and it is outside variable. So let's say, this should say the temperature is 82 degrees and it is perfect weather. Oh, I guess I should put a little period in here, shouldn't I? Oops. Let's make our sentence nice and grammatically correct, punctuation correct, right? All right, let me move this up a little bit and we'll run it. Look at that. The temperature is 82 degrees and it is perfect weather. All right, let's change the temperature. Let's make it 102. All right, that is hot. So now it should say the temperature is 102 and it's hot because this condition will be met here. Oh my, the temperature is 102 degrees and it is hot. Let's change our temperature. Let's make it cold. Let's make it 45. Of course, it's cold. Ooh, temperature's 45 and it's cold. Okay, so we've tested our if, else if, and else statement. Okay, very good. I could have made this a little more fun by doing a scanner input so that the user could input the temperature, but we can get into that later. But here's your example of an if, else, else. Let me say one more thing before I stop. I can have multiple else ifs. I could have 5, 6, 7. I could have lots of else ifs. Okay. I just got to remember, in order to have an else if, I need an original if and I need a final else. Okay. There we go. All right. So have fun with this one, and I will see you all next time.